Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. Got a comment? Email me, adam@adamsweb.us. Cast your vote for the show on Podcast Alley, and remember to check out our website, laserandSword.com. We got some news on the upcoming book, as well as we've got three great serials going that you can follow day by day over at laserandsword.com. We got an email from Dave Metropolis, who always provides some interesting feedback. He says, a number of observations for you on the last two episodes of Superman. This is parts 11 and 12. For starters, where is this story going? You commented on this yourself in the notes for episode 12. Seems like we're going an awful long way from Metropolis and the football team. I've noticed that this is not the first time that this has happened either. I recall a while back that the average story arc went about 8 episodes. Over the past few months, there seem to have gotten longer and longer, and we are now at part 12 of this arc with no end of sight. And you do recall the sailing vessel story that went on for, 35 episodes? Were there any contractual issues that required stories to be a set amount of episodes? Episode 11 in particular seemed completely unnecessary. How many story arcs have we seen where we'd expect some extra turns, but Superman is able to wrap things up in the last 5 minutes? It would have been so much easier if the antidote had turned out to be in a safe somewhere. Metropolis would have been in the Rose Bowl by now. Well, we only spent 20 parts in Last of the Clipper ships, but we spent 35 episodes straight where, except for a couple shows that were set in a hotel room, they were at sea. So these are long story arcs. I don't think that there was a contractual thing setting the number of shows that had to be done. I think that, particularly in radio's early days, there was a lack of knowledge about what worked and what didn't. So they basically played it by ear. And there were probably less limits. Jack Johnstone, who produced Superman, would later go on to produce yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And those were, they had 5-part arcs. Those serials, 5-part episodes, each Monday through Friday, and then a new mystery the next week. There were a couple arcs, a 6-part and a 9-part, but that was the general rule. And those were great because you had these set limits. I think the writers may have just been dealing with a lack of limits, so you end up with story arcs that seem to go on forever. I think a lot of what happens can be kind of interesting, but it just dragged on too long, and they just wander off sometimes. They may have done better back when they were only doing 6-part arcs. But he's got a little more. David says, speaking of episode 11, in those show notes you made reference to a Mr. Tango Pete. But I believe the name is Pango Pete. This would be a reference to a certain time of Jungle Machete called the Pango Pattern, which would make sense. And did you catch the error in geography in episode 12? I thought Ken had traveled to South America to find the antidote. But there's a clear reference to a cheetah. Sorry, wrong continent. Yeah, it was a good catch. It did seem out of place. For some reason, I didn't comment on it, but there is no cheetah in South America. So I guess the writers, rather than coming up with a South American jungle cat, decided they would be the cheetahs. Okay. And as for, you're right about Pango Pete as well. And some of these words, unfamiliar words, I end up messing up, like Keat was the name of a character after Keatwood, and I missed that as well. All right, well, we're running way long on this opening segment, so let's get into today's episode of Superman. The Metropolis football team poison leading Clark Kent to go into the South American jungle where there are African cheetahs, part 14.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. When a tribe of savage Central American Indians attacked the rubber plantation where he was staying, Clark Kent, as Superman, successfully beat them off, only to discover that a poisoned dart had struck John Carter, the plantation manager. At the point of death, Carter gasped that the Indians were the only ones who had an antidote to the poison. Strangely enough, these same Indians, the Narwhals, also possessed the antidote to the brain-numbing potion that had been given the players on the Metropolis football team, the antidote for which Kent had come to the jungle. With Carter's life slowly ebbing away, Kent had to think fast. Before the battle with the savages had started, he had been forced to knock out a local white derelict known as Pango Pete and deposit him in the back of a truck. Pango Pete was known to be friendly with the Indians, and it was Kent's thought that in this emergency he might be of help. But when he reached the truck, Kent found it empty. He hurried to the derelict shack. Empty. Far off in the distance, echoing out of the dark, matted depths of the jungle, he could hear the beat of the Narwan tom-toms. The precious minutes were slipping away. Making use of Superman's amazing power of flight, he soared out over the jungle, his keen eyes piercing the darkness.
That huge fire up ahead must mark their campsite. Yes, I can see them dancing around it. There's only one thing to do. Drop right down into the middle of the fire. If that doesn't make them sit up and take notice, nothing will. I can hear them chanting and beating those tom-toms. Well, this little surprise from the heavens should stop them cold. Here goes. Down! Down! Frozen in their tracks. They think I'm a spirit. Let them think it. Now one! Give ear! Watch how I stop the fire with my cloak. Take me to your chief at once. To Chief Sangha. Hurry! Take me to your chief. I think they understand me. One of them stepping out of the circle. He's coming toward me.
Pana, ayaw Sangha.
Hope that means what I think it does. Take a chance and nod my head. Yes. It's leading the way to a thatched hut. Looks like it's going to work. It is. There's the chief, propped up on animal skins. Pango Pete was right. He must be 100 years old if he's a day. All shriveled up.
Ayaw Payo Ama Sangha.
Warriors say you live through fire.
Yes, Sangha. I am Great Spirit.
Great Spirit.
Yes,
Why you come to Sangha, Great Spirit?
because you are Great Chief.
Sangha, Great Chief. It is good.
Yes, but you are also old man. Your days are numbered.
Yes. Yes. Sangha, very old.
Great Chief like Sangha must live with Great Spirits when his days are over.
Yes. It will be good.
But first, Sangha must make gifts to Great Spirit.
Give name to gifts. Sangha, make them.
To stop the poison of the Great Chief's darts, there is a medicine.
Yes. Kala.
This I would have, Sangha.
No more?
One thing more. A brown powder that is the medicine to stop the white powder that gives men sleep.
Yes. What more?
That is all, Sangha. But there is no time.
There is plenty of time, me bully boy.
Pango Pete.
So you knows me, eh? And who might you be in your fancy dress get-up?
Stop. This Great Spirit.
I see you've been listening to his blarney, Sangha. Come on, speak up, me bully boy. Who is you?
You heard what the Great Chief said?
I heard him right enough. What do you take me for?
Great Spirit.
Now, look here, Sangha. I ain't never steered you wrong, have I? If he's a great spirit, I'm the King of England. How did you get here, and what do you want?
That's none of your business. Sangha, there is no time. Where are the gifts?
Yes. Kala. Kala.
Hold on a minute. What's this about gifts? What's he taking from you, Sangha?
I'd advise you to keep out of this.
Oh, you would? And who's going to make me?
I am, unless
Unless what? Mind, I've got a spear in me hand. One move and I'll run you through.
Go ahead.
I'm warning. Don't take another step. All right, here it is.
All you managed to do was bounce that spear off my chest.
I don't. It ain't possible.
Great Spirit, man of steel.
You're seeing things, Sanga. That spear by right should have gone clean through him. It ain't human.
Sanga has seen enough. Fire! Kanga! Joanna! Kala! Wawuka! Warrior will bring gifts, Great Spirit.
What's your game, mister? What kind of tricks are you using?
They're not tricks.
Great Spirit.
On the level now. What you got up your sleeve?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now look here, you're after something. Well, so's Tango Pete, and he's in a fire way to get it. Take it from me. It ain't nothing piddling, neither.
Sana. Warrior has gifts, Great Spirit.
What are you giving them, Sanga? What's in them pouches?
Just a minute. Those belong to me. Thank you.
What's in them?
I don't think it concerns you. The Great Spirit accepts your gift, Sanga. You will have many more years of life.
Ayo! Let there be feast and ceremony!
Blimey, you got him extra fair, you have.
I'm sorry I haven't time to discuss it with you. Perhaps we'll meet again. Farewell, great chief.
Hold on a minute. I got a proposition to make to you.
I'm not interested in your
But
proposition.
you haven't even heard it. Hold on now.
Up, and away!
That's it, Mr. Carter. Just a little bit more. Swallow it. There we are. You'll be all right in a few minutes. Just rest easy.
Ken.
Yes, Mr. Carter.
My legs can't. I can't move them.
And that'll pass off. You just relax.
Can't. What happened?
You were struck with a poison dart.
Oh.
Easy now, easy. You're going to recover. I gave you an antidote to the poison. I got it from the chief of the Nawans a few minutes ago.
It's almost me, Ken. No one other than those savage Nawans would dare go into the jungle at night. I have a lot of courage. I owe my life to that courage.
It was the least I could do for you.
You say you got what you wanted? Brown crystals?
Yes. I got them, and I'll be leaving as soon as you're able to get around.
Don't bother about me. My houseboy can carry on from here. You've done more than enough. I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, forget it. Incidentally, I'm going to leave the pouch containing the poison antidote with you. It may come in handy someday. I'll also leave you some of the brown crystals. I have more than enough. Here, this is the poison antidote. You better mark it when you get a chance. Now, if I can just find something to put these crystals in.
What was that?
I don't know. I better go see. Here, I'll leave these pouches on the table.
Be careful, Ken.
Don't worry, I will.
You'll find a rifle on the porch.
Okay.
Who's there?
It's only me, Mr. Carter.
Oh, Tango Pete.
Right, you are. A bit out of breath from running around to the back after letting loose that yowl, but otherwise in good shape.
Oh, you were the one who screamed. What's the idea?
I had to get him out of the cottage, didn't I?
I'd advise you to get out yourself. I know all about you. Get out. Get off the plantation.
Don't worry, Mr. Carter. I'll be toddling along soon. First, I gotta put over a little deal. Them pouches sitting on the table. They belongs to me.
Keep your hands off
And
those.
don't excite yourself, Mr. Carter.
Put
You're a
those
sick man.
pouches down.
Not on your life I won't. They're going to pay me big dividends, they are.
Kent!
Keep your blooming mouth shut.
Kent!
All right, I'll get it, boy. I can tell your places, Mr. Kent.
If he wants these pouches, he's going to pay for them in heavy. Toodaloo, Mr. Corner.
Ken, where are you?
Coming.
Ken,
Couldn't find anything outside. What's the matter?
Ken, your pouches, they're gone.
Where are they?
Tango Pete.
What?
He went out the back way. You may be able to catch him. Hurry.
Will Clark Kent be able to find Tango Pete and recover the precious leather pouch containing the brown crystals? In all the excitement, Kent has lost track of time. Even now, far up north, the referee's whistle is blowing for the start of the Metropolis Southwest football game. And 11 Metropolis men, drugged with a brain-numbing potion that may react at any moment, are trotting out on the field. Our story comes to a smashing climax in the next episode, so don't miss it. Listen in with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome back. Well, this episode was interesting. We talked in the opening about a zoological error by the writers. We got kind of another geographical error here. Superman arrives there claiming to be the Great Spirit. The Great Spirit, actually, when you look it up, is it's not like Apollo or Hercules in the Greek culture. It's the Great Maker. So it's a pretty audacious claim, but the thing is, he comes there claiming to be the Great Spirit, and the Great Spirit was something that Plains Indians believed in, the Sioux. It was a Sioux Indian concept, which is, way up in the northern plains. And so he comes down here to South America. So, geographical errors there. The whole scene with Tango Pete being involved in the scene with the chief didn't really seem to have any connection, other than for us once again to see somebody fail to get Superman. Now we're going to see the wind-up. Can Superman, with all of his strength and speed, possibly catch Tango Pete, who is running out on foot? I'm really in suspense on this one. We're just going to have to wait till Sunday, and we'll find out in the conclusion. So the end is in sight in part 15 of the Metropolis football team Poison, needing Clark Kent to go to South America, but needing to get back before the whistle blows for the football game that we have long since forgotten about. Part 15 on Sunday. But from Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.